Hi everyone, my name is Armine Hovsepian. Today I'll be discussing an article titled Texas Doctor Accused of Administering Chemo to Patients Who Didn't Need It. It was published on May 17, 2018 on the Fox News website by Kathleen Joyce. The article is about a doctor whose name is Dr. Jorge Zamora-Quezada, who committed healthcare fraud. Since the year 2000, Dr. Zamora-Quezada has been falsely diagnosing his patients, performing unnecessary procedures, and administering unnecessary medications, including chemotherapy, to his patients who ranged in age from youth to elderly. He charges patients for all of these things to fund his wealthy lifestyle, which included a private jet, a Maserati, and several properties. The special agent in charge of the investigation said, quote, "His patients trusted him and presumed his integrity. In return, he allegedly engaged in a scheme of false diagnoses and bogus courses of treatment, all for his own personal financial gain, with no regard for patient well-being." End quote. Besides this being part of the assignment, I wanted to present this article so that anyone who sees this may contact the proper authorities if they or anyone they know has been a patient of Dr. Zamora-Quezada, as they are still searching for more victims. Dr. Zamora-Quezada clearly violated the principle of non-maleficence, but I would say the beneficence and autonomy were also invaded. His patients went to him with faith in him and his profession. As a physician, he would have taken an oath which states he will do no harm to patients and he'll take care of them. It may not have been the Hippocratic Oath, as this is no longer used, but several universities have devised their own oaths for physicians to take prior to them starting their practices, several of which can be found online. As an oath is supposed to be a public statement, a promise that a person will behave ethically, Dr. Zamora-Quezada violated this oath as well. Returning to the principles, the basic premise of non-maleficence is to do no harm, and this violation was easy to see. Indirectly, this also affects beneficence. Since he was not helping his patients, he was neither preventing them harm, nor was he promoting good for them. In terms of autonomy, by lying to them, he took away their ability to make proper decisions. Lying and withholding information to make people believe what is false takes away their ability to make informed decisions, which is a challenge to their autonomy. This is important because as healthcare providers, we are held to certain standards. Patients go to doctors' offices, hospitals, clinics, expecting to be taken care of, and we as nurses have a duty, a responsibility, to protect them. In this case, there is actually no mention of nurses, but if we assume that there were nurses who administered the medications, it's questionable whether nursing provisions were violated. Assuming the patient's files had been altered to reflect information that coincided with their diagnoses, the nurses did what they were supposed to do. They would then have respected most of the provisions from the Nursing Code of Ethics. Sadly, this is unfortunate that they did so and nobody questioned anything. Provision 3 may have been violated in this case, in which case they could have better advocated for the patients. But again, with altered charts and data, possibly, they could not have known. And again, this is all speculation. Depending on the location where the medications were administered, a possible future solution could be to repeat labs or tests prior to administering the medications. For example, if the chemotherapy was administered in a cancer center, that center could create a protocol to not accept outside labs and to repeat tests within their own lab prior to administering the medication. This really is a sad article because it's not something that happened to somebody by chance or naturally. It's about a person who is considered a trusted and esteemed person within the community who did something harmful to others. In non-maleficence, there is doing wrong versus doing harm. Dr. Zamora-Quezada both wronged and harmed his patients. Maybe not all of them, but many of them. Again, this was in Texas, and if you know anyone who may have been his patient, please let them know. Thank you. Have a good day.